Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all new episode of the Bravo Bunch. We break down all things this past week in Bravo here. So, we're talking Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Real Housewives of New Jersey. I am Sam Henson. I am one third of the triumvirate that you see here every week. But I'm not alone. Today, I am joined, as always, by Kristian Robinson. Kristian, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Currently sipping on a Red Bull vodka, if that explains to you where I'm at in the week. It's
That
been
is truly impressive. I am drinking a mango white claw. And
oh,
yes, as we drink, you may notice Josh Mickelson he's not here today. Sister did not make the recording, and we decided that we are taking a self-care day and staying off camera. It is definitely not for technical reasons or for bad Wi-Fi. This is definitely on purpose. And so we are just gonna break things all down like it's a podcast. There is no video today. And that feels very liberating, to be honest with you,
honestly,
Kristian.
I feel like when you turn your phone off or you like turn your notifications off for like an hour and you're like, oh, I'm just unplugged. It's nice to not be on camera.
Truly, it truly feels. I sit on Zoom all day long for work, and so to be able to just talk to you like we're on the phone chatting like girlfriends, this feels right. Okay, so let's get into the news of the week. And the big news of the week is Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 trailer drops. Dun dun dun. It
Ah,
was yeah, it was the moment. Now come on now. I feel that, I just feel safe. When I watch this, it put a smile on my face. Kristian, I want to hear your reactions to the trailer.
when I heard that it had dropped, my heart also dropped. And as I was watching it, I really just came to this realization that I like truly do think that Potomac is my favorite franchise. Like I
Yeah.
was just so excited to see every single one of them on my little TV screen. And I'm just very excited. And I was even excited to see Candace, which was like pretty surprising. So
You know
I
what? I am not just excited. I am excited to see Candace. I am going into this season with renewed fandom and Candace Dillard. Is that her name? Candace Dillard. Queen Candace. You know what? I'm okay to come out and say that in the end, I was Team Candace last season. I feel like
oh
we've already seen it. When I saw the trailer drop, I saw all this Candace slander and be like, Candace should have been gone to blah 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 blah. No, I am excited for this bitch, this messy bitch that I love, to return to my screen. Is that a hot take? Is that a hot take?
I mean, I honestly do feel comfortable coming out as Team Candace now that like Monique is not around, unless her fans have all gone back into the closet with their terrible takes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much she's changed or learned or grown, but
Good.
honestly, I
I
don't
don't want her
care.
to change. I don't
I
want her
don't
to change.
care. Exactly. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I liked her just the way she was.
Yes, I loved her just the way she was. She was doing the absolute most. I remember season 3 and 4, she was having like 5 different storylines happening at the same time. And I was just like, girl, you are really putting it out there. When
She
her
does
mom hit her with that bag, oh, it wasn't even on camera. And that was an incredible moment. Like that was. I'm
Yes.
just so happy to have these women back in my life. And I really feel that I think this is going to be like a step down in the best way from last season. Like, I think there was never probably going to be something that was as crazy as that fight last season. And I think that's for the
Mhm.
best because that ended up just kind of like vortexing everything else into this like crazy shit show. And all they could do was rehash the fight. And then they weren't filming together and they were in trauma, counseling and all these things. And I was like, this is just too much. Like, I need to go back to when they're just spreading rumors about other people's marriages. And it looks like we have that here. That's my impression.
Yes. And it seems like there is a little like fighting that gets like maybe physical. If you consider tossing salad physical, it seems like there might be some threats of like hold me back, but it doesn't seem like anything near as the last season. So I'm excited that it is dramatic, but not crossing the line into a point where we just won't stop talking about it.
Yeah. I think Wendy is gonna have a big season. She had the first line in the trailer. There's gonna be rumors about her marriage coming up, and
Hmm.
she has that season 2 glow up. She looked amazing in her confessional look. I was like, oh my god. And
She I love season 2 glow
love,
up. I
love,
live for a season 2 glow up. And Wendy honestly didn't look terrible in season 1, but she 12 out of 10 in this trailer, this preview for the next season. I was so hyped to see her. And I'm hyped to see her get angry because in
yes.
the past season it seemed like she was just kind of like fighting other people's battles. But now that she has her own drama and is in the center of some controversy, I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I would say last season her look was that of like a CNN political correspondent or whatever channel she's on. And now I'm happy to report that she, like every housewife, has probably an entire glam squad dressing way too young, and that's just for everyone's benefit. And I'm so excited to see Miss Wendy what she has to bring. We have a new housewife, Mia, coming to the fold. I think she looks glamorous. She looks expensive.
She does.
And I don't know. See, this is the thing. In Potomac, there are 7 main ladies. And Robin is apparently bringing a friend of on the show as well that they're advertising. So that's going to
Ooh.
be like 8 cast members. And that to me is the way to go. That's why I think Roni is kind of struggling this season. That's why I think Roa Atlanta was kind of a snoozer last season. These 5 people cast when some of these people we've seen for 10 years on our screen, that doesn't do it. That's just my opinion.
No, I definitely have to agree. And it was funny because there's something about Potomac where there is literally so many of them. Like there's 7 housewives in season 6, but it didn't feel large. It felt the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like there's some other franchises when there's been 7 that I'm like, whoa. This is difficult. But with all of them, I'm so engaged in every single one of their storylines that I like don't there could be 9. I don't give a fuck. I just want more.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy to see that they kept up with the big cast.
I agree. It premieres on
And
July 11th.
Yeah, Mia becoming like she is a friend of Karen's. I'm like, that is powerful.
That is powerful. I feel like the
I'm
producers were
scared.
like, Karen needs an ally. Let's
Yeah,
cast one for her. And you know
I'm
what? I'm here
so
for Miss
scared.
Karen. Miss Karen Huger, she's coming. She's coming. She's a force, and I'm so excited for her. That's July 11th. We'll be here to break it down. And I guess less exciting news. We have the trailer that dropped today for the new season of Below Deck Mediterranean, and I am feeling nothing. Christian, do you have any thoughts on this trailer?
Well, I'm glad that our resident lesbians are sneaking in right at the end of Pride Month. I don't know that I need any more Captain Sandy, especially after her
No.
drama with Malia. And so I'm just really confused why Malia is back. Out of
Yeah.
all the people in the last season of Below Deck Med and the drama that ensued, I didn't think Malia would be back.
Like Malia, really? I feel like, which is funny because I feel like if I remember correctly about how my take was, at first I was like, yes, Malia, you are a hashtag girl boss. She's girl bossing it up. And then she just got nasty once her loser boyfriend came on, right? That's the tea.
Yes.
And okay, I do just say, I'm like, okay, well, they cast 2 black people, which is like exciting. But then
Wait, there
also in
were
the same,
two?
there were 2, but then in the same trailer, I was like, okay, these black people, oh, they're being cast in a very specific light that I'm just like shaking my head at.
Yeah.
Yes, it looked like there is a black female, black
Oh,
woman
yeah.
as a chief stew, and I also saw a black man on there. I'm guessing he's on deck, which is like way more diverse, and I feel like they've probably cast in any season of Below Deck so far. So at least
Mhm.
like I guess that's a step in the right direction. It didn't look like a good season to me, if you have to ask me. That's my impression of that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, again, I with Hannah and Kate gone, I feel like they're just going to do a lot of work to make a good Below Deck season again.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it doesn't give me a winner off of
Yeah,
what.
you know what? This kind of okay. So from what I could tell, there's a new chief stew. Okay, and then it seems like the bulk of the fighting will be between the chief stew and the second stew. And where have we seen that before? Oh yeah, that's right. The last season of Below Deck, which was all the entire thing was
Yeah.
Francesca and Elizabeth fighting over and over and over and over and over again to the point where we were like, why are we watching this anymore? So I don't know. We will watch it. I mean, what the hell else are we doing? I'll watch it, I guess. That's on June 28th. And I guess that also signals we can go into our first episode of the week. That Politics selling out, I guess it's ending soon. And you know what? Like, I feel like I've really come around on this show. Like, I think Below Deck sailing out, it's really fucking good. Like, I don't know what else anyone could be asking for from a Below Deck season. Like, I think these guests are crazy white conservative women. They're
Mhm.
psychos. They are fighting nonstop. There is fake STI drama. I called that. I knew it was not an STI last week. I just knew it. Um, I don't know. What were your thoughts on this episode of Below Deck Sailing Out, Christian?
I was enjoying it. I think Allie is a girl boss. I'm like simultaneously so over the drama between her and Gary and Sydney, but also so invested in it. Like
Yes.
I screamed when she was like, I'm not, we can just see where things go maybe after we get off the boat, but for the time being, I just like, we can't do this. And I was like, yes, bitch! Like
Yeah.
for like no real reason. I get it, but I like truly don't understand why it's so serious that Gary and Sydney had sex. And I'm like, I respect you, Allie, for falling on your sword purely for my entertainment. But like, girl, I would not do this if I were in your shoes.
Yeah. I mean, that scene was shocking. Something tells me from the preview that we have not seen the end of the love triangle there.
Mhm.
Okay, I also was Christian when they were talking about the women's empowerment night and Sydney's song that she's gonna sing. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to physically sit and watch her sing this song next week. Like,
I
I
know.
I was so uncomfortable watching her write it and just like will this American girl just do fucking anything? The answer is yes. And I'm
Absolutely.
just
Did we know before this episode that she was a classically trained singer, or did they just throw that in there for the lulz?
no, they didn't. And when they flashed back to her singing "Happy Birthday," and I know that they cranked up that mic volume so loud, so where it sounded like she was screaming that "Happy Birthday" song. I was dying. I was like, "This bitch always just makes drama," and I just love her. She's like, she's a mess, and I thank her for that. I
She
thank
was
her.
like writing the lyrics, and I was like, I pray to whatever God that this is iconic in the worst way. I am so excited to have a little song come out of Below Deck. It's gonna be funny.
I'm honestly like bracing for impact, like so cringy it sounds like. But okay. So let's get to I guess the wrap up of JL and Danny, or I guess the wrap up of the health issue. It was chafing in the end.
Okay, I side with Danny on this. I've never had an STI flex, but I have chafed plenty. And I'm like, how did the fuck do you not know the difference? How?
Yeah, I don't know. Like that is really shocking. Again, I feel like they probably did an STI panel, all of them before they came on this boat.
Mhm.
And at the same time, you really were dragging this girl for like giving you an STI on camera for it to not end up being anything. It was chafing. And why did that make his dick swell up so much? Like,
I,
what was going on down there? I
that's
don't
some
know.
gross ass chafing.
That was just bizarre, and that poor doctor that had to see those pictures. Oh god.
I just also when he was on the phone and trying to be like, I love whenever we talk to doctors, we try to be like so correct about the language. He's like, there is some redness on my genitals, and I was like, God, dude, just say the word dick, like just say it. Like you're trying so hard to be nice here.
I know that was killing me. Okay, that was just like I felt for Danny there. JL, he's such a just like doofus. He's such a like doofus. I don't know any other way to describe that man.
Yeah.
Um, he does the dessert sliding. Captain Glenn gets kind of angry. That was kind of fun to see, wasn't it?
Yes. Okay, first, let's back up real quick. The
Okay.
dessert, okay, apparently we had already done this earlier in the
Yes.
season. Maybe
Yes.
I was just blackout for the occasion, but I watched her put this together and I was like, who the fuck would want to eat this?
I do remember this from before. I think it was with a bunch of other. I feel like it was that charter that was like all male. Maybe it wasn't, but she like did it right before they left, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like they're all so impressed. And it's
Uh,
literally just like I think she puts a piece of paper down on a table, like does some weird shit with some chocolate, and then you're just supposed to like pick it up off the paper. Uh, I don't know. That doesn't seem that impressive to me, to be
it
honest.
does not. And then Captain Glenn was like, whatever you do, don't make a mess because it's going to be so hard to clean up. And then Jean Luc is like, I'm going to make a fucking mess. I was just like, I totally understand why Captain Glenn was as angry as he was because it felt like everybody was dropping the ball and just had a complete disregard for the charter or for the boat or for whatever. But it was like they were definitely sluggish this episode.
Yeah, they were like they had just literally crashed the boat and Jails getting it dirty with this nasty chocolate all over himself. And I have to say, Captain Glenn, he was making me LOL when he made Daisy go up and say that he had a fake seafood allergy, so he didn't have to eat with those girls. The girls were fighting. That girl in the yellow bikini was like, "You're jealous of me. Like, I'm the prettiest one here." And that was wild, I have to say. Right?
Mhm.
Wild. I was just like, okay. And I knew it. What did I say last week? I said I have seen this blonde bitch before. I know I have. And
You
this
were
bitch was on
right.
The Bachelor like 10 years ago. I remember her. She was Erica with the big boobs and like the blonde hair, and she like acted like she was a Barbie doll. And wow, those memories came back all at once when I made that connection on Facebook. And wow, okay, she's a lawyer. From I learned that from Sydney's song, so I cannot wait to hear more about the song.
Could you
Is
just
there
like
any?
for a second, could you imagine being so insufferable that somebody wants to sit out of a 7-course meal with you? Like I was
No.
just like I wanted all of that food. And so for Glenn to be like, actually, I'd rather die than be here. I was like, go off.
King, he was doing king shit, and then he was
Yes.
being so like on them later. I was like, whoo, that was
Well,
exciting for me to watch.
when Allie got caught talking shit,
But she wasn't even talking shit when
I
she got
know. I was
caught.
like, that wasn't really talking shit. She was just stating facts. Like, I like, I guess maybe I understand room for the charter guest to get mad, but I was like, Allie was being nothing but so nice to that woman who was just blatantly fucking annoying.
Real
Um,
bitch,
and
truly.
so it was just like that was funny, and the way that Captain Glenn was like to Daisy, like, please, please, please address this with her. And then Daisy goes to her and was like, I was told that I need to address this, but there's nothing really
Yes.
to address. So, whatever. I
This
was like,
was just a good episode. I felt
yeah.
very positive about this episode. I don't think there's anything left to say about this episode, right?
Are we going to talk about how rich it is that Sydney is the one singing a song about women's empowerment?
Girl, that was not lost on me. The women's empowerment thing, that was killing me. I'm so excited to watch this next week. Oh my god. Okay, that was Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I will give that episode 3.5 out of 5 sails.
Yeah, I was also going to give it 3.5 out of 5.
Word.
I'm up on Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
I'm up to.
A lot.
I feel like we expect too much out of Below Deck sometimes, and I feel
Yeah.
like this is what we come for. Like there's the location, there's the obnoxious rich people. I really do love this crew. What does that say about me? I think I really love this crew. Way more. Maybe it's
I
just because this like last Below Deck crew was just so garbage that I'm just like, I love them.
I was like, maybe this is a hot take, but I could do another season with no edits to the crew.
I agree. I
And I
agree.
don't ever say that about Below Deck.
There's literally I like all of them. Like I even like Colin. I feel like Colin is like a good
Yeah.
guy. Like he's like kind
Yeah.
of a sweetie. Okay. That's what excelling out. We will break the rest of that charter down. Women's Empowerment Night is next week. Woo. Okay. Let's get to Roni. Roni.
What a wild ride of an episode.
I just I'm gonna pass it over to you because I left this episode feeling really negative. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm negative at. Not the show, I guess. Just anger. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think again, I go back to the fact that it's like 5 cast members. And so
Yeah.
even when Leah is being such a bitch about Heather, it just like is a fucking wet blanket for the whole time.
Yes.
And you can't, like, with only 4 other people, you can't undo that. But we can back it up because it picks up with the aftermath of Sonia just absolutely losing her mind.
Get real, bitch. Get real.
I know who I am. I just like Sonia's just truly unhinged in the best way possible. And I cannot take my eyes off of it. I have never wanted to see somebody hit rock bottom more. Like I am obsessed. The shit that comes out of her mouth is just so good.
And Ramona was really serving it to me to hear. Like, I had to say, all in all, Ramona had a really amazing episode, I feel like every time she got dragged into a fight, I feel like she was like honestly the correct one. And how rare of a statement is that? Multiple fights and Ramona is the one, in my opinion, that is correct. Wow, what a world we live in. Yes. Okay, so Luann, she leaves the table. She says she can't be around Sonia. It's just too much for her. Okay, you know what is, I don't know if this is funny. I laughed at this, but I think it's also very shady. They always, have you noticed this? They always show Ebony eating. Have you noticed this?
Yes.
Ebony is always eating all the time.
And it was in her intro package that she was like, I don't skip no meals. Like, I'll eat, bitch. You'll see me eat the whole plate. But I'm still like, you don't need to show her in the act of eating.
Yeah, and I think this is maybe why a lot of the housewives maybe don't eat that much at these things, because they will show you eating, and it's like kind of just like unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, my ass would be eating that free food too. Don't get me wrong, but I just think we need to like start a counter with every time they show Ebony eating in an episode, because it was a lot. Okay. Then Ramona goes to get Sonia, and Sonia's like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And Ramona's like, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I was just like, these women are crazy. And then the next morning, then they hash it out. They have a heart to heart. They have a girls talk. And Sonia was like, why would you even bring up Wells Fargo? Like, this is about my daughter's future. It's just like, what? And then Ramona's like, no, you are just having a freak out because you're jealous of Garth, you're jealous of Luann having a man, and you don't want to be left in the dust. They have a breakthrough. Ramona cries for her. Okay. Any thoughts there, Kristian? Friend. What a great friend that is.
I was just like, okay. I do like agree with Ebony's statement where it's just like so impressive how quickly these women get over their like issues with each other.
Yes,
and they're just like, so quick to just turn around and cry about it and then move on.
And that's what kills me about Leah, and that's why I feel like her energy is just not matching the others this season. It's like they are all unbothered. Even we'll get to it later. Luann talking to Heather after they hashed out for like a minute. Luann's like, I'm fine. Like she doesn't care anymore. And Leah is still so pressed about it. It's not even her drama, and she's pressed about it. And like Leah just cannot let shit go. This bitch is having a bad season. I called it from before, and I think that her haters, she's gonna have more haters this season. And maybe that will humble her, because I think she's not God's gift to Bravo. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
It's fact at this point.
It's fact at this point. Okay. So then this part also made me upset. This made me really angry. I don't know why. So Ramona and Luann are talking. They're having a private conversation about Sonia. Leah comes in and Ramona says, "Give us 5 minutes." She was not like being dismissive. She was not being nasty. She's like, "Give us 5 minutes. We're having a private conversation." And this like set Leah the fuck off, right?
She
Like
spiraled so
she
quickly.
spiraled out of that. Like I would have literally been like, okay, like I don't even think that would have registered in my mind, like that kind of
Right.
incident. And to her, that was like Ramona is just being so fake. And then she sees Leah. Right, Leah sees Ebony and Ramona talking. She's like, "Oh, so you're gonna be nice to her? You're just fucking bitch. Like you're so rude." And she's just like going around the house yelling this. And she's like, "Michelle, how do you work for this fucking bitch?" Like all these things. I'm just like, what in the world?
Michelle going, I love Ramona so much. I was like, find yourself a more loyal staff member. Like, what an iconic woman. She deserves a raise.
Oh my god, I did not catch that. I thought she said, "Leah, I love you," which totally changes the context of what that was going on. Oh my god, I fucking love that.
Like,
You're woo, okay.
little Miss Michelle, I was like, go off.
This bitch is loyal, okay? This bitch is fucking loyal. Okay, that was amazing. Okay,
But then
Michelle saved that
naturally,
scene.
yeah, truly. But then, of course, as if that wasn't already just like off the fucking edge, Leah's like, the obvious next step is for me to go on a vow of silence. Like,
Yeah, I didn't
that's
get
just
that.
that's just what I need to do. I'm not going to speak until 6 p.m. And I'm just going to use Ebony. Ebony was that's my favorite thing about Ebony is she's just rolling with the punches. She's
Yeah,
like
she's really
treating the
trying.
show like it's improv, and she's like, "What is this bitch? Oh, you know what? I am often a voice for the voiceless. Like this is what I do. Like vow of silence, let's go." And it was just so funny how quickly she rolled with it, and everybody else was like, "What?" Even Ramona was like, "Do you have laryngitis?" I was like, "Ramona, bitch, do you not know
Well,
how to
I think
pronounce the word
what was
laryngitis?"
also funny, which is why I think Leah stopped, was like, "Oh, do you have laryngitis or whatever?" And then she's like, "Oh, she's not talking." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And they just like moved on. Like they didn't give a fuck that she wasn't talking. I think like
Right?
that was not the reaction that Leah wanted. She wanted Ramona to be like, "Why aren't you talking to me?" Blah blah blah. They literally just like did not pay her any mind, like no attention for 3 hours. And for Leah, that was just like too much to bear, which is why she had to break the vow of silence. But that was like I think Ebony, I think sometimes she has to see the truth. There was that one little confessional look that she had about just being like, what is Leah doing when they were getting glam? Also, why was there glam and like they were dressed like they were about to perform surgery? Did you see that? They were dressed like
Yes.
like why were they dressed like that? I was like, that's PPP that needs to go to real medical people. Oh my god, that killed me. Yeah, the vow of silence was a total wet fart. That was my opinion on the vow of silence. And then okay, there was the good like weird blow up in the van. I just
So fucking unhinged. Absolutely unhinged. Like, I don't even know how it started.
you know what? Okay, when I put these pieces together, I'm like the three of Ramona, Sonia, and Luann, they're still putting in the good work. They are really working so hard, and I really do think it is Leah's stank personality, and then Ebony just being a newbie. That it's like that's what I think like is weighing it down. But there's so much like great Roni material here. Like this bus ride was truly unhinged. Lou was like, I don't even know how this started. Sonia was like, "That bald guy was mine," talking about what's his name? What was his name? Shit,
Tom.
Tom. Oh my god, how can I forget Tom? And Lou's like, "He was not your guy. He married me. He fucked you one night." Sonia's like, "One night," and then Sonia brings up Harry Hamlin. Harry Hamlin, is that the name of the guy?
Harry
And
Dubin.
Harry Dubin. Harry Hamlin. That's Lisa Rinna's husband, right?
Yes.
Okay, getting my Harrys mixed up. Yes, I was living. I was just living for that,
I was
right?
living for it. And then just the visual of Leah sitting in the corner reading a book. Like, what are you reading? The Torah? Like, I'm so confused.
She
Like,
was reading the Heather page 6 article for the 100th time, studying it to get.
getting her flashcards ready. And then, of course, and this is where Ebony said it, like they were fighting pretty aggressively. And then
And
Ebony
then
just
they're
has such a good
hugging.
read of the situation. I feel like she's like truly doing group therapy
She
in these
is.
moments. And I was
She
like,
is.
okay, baby girl, let's go. They need you. And then immediately they're like crying. And then they're over it. And I was like, all right, weird.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sure it'll come back up
hugging.
again later, but
Ebony was,
whatever.
I think that was one of my favorite things. Like Ebony's reaction, because that's why we love Ronies. They just get over shit literally in 5 minutes. And Ebony was literally shook as fuck. She was like, what? How are they just like, they really don't care. They just truly move on. And that's
Right.
why I love these ladies so much. Okay, so we go to the oyster farm.
And all
Blah,
of a
blah, blah.
sudden, Leah's talking again. I was like, it doesn't look like it's 6 p.m. outside. Maybe I don't know where the sun should be, but you should not be talking.
Well, she just wasn't getting the reaction she wanted. And, you know, a vow of silence works really great on television. It's riveting TV, too. Wow.
I was literally crying listening to Ramona just like have all of these like mind blowing realizations about oysters. Like,
Yeah.
like that's also the shit that I just like love about Roni is that Ramona is just like comical when she engages with new information. And for herself to think that she's like, I'm an oyster expert. I'm going to bring all the girls to this oyster farm and teach them a little bit about oysters. And then her mind is just being blown over and over again. It was just so funny.
My favorite was when she found out that oysters only cost $1 a piece to the restaurants, and that she's been like probably paying like 100 times that for every oyster she's got in the city. The look on her face was just like pure horror, and that fucking killed. That killed me.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they get down to dinner to lunch there. Then Leah's talking in, whatever. And then she brings up Heather. Here we go. Let's get into all of the Heather stuff again. Ramona's like, I'm nervous. These women aren't going to be very welcoming. Then they get back to Ramona's place. Heather comes, hey mama, and she comes in. She is down in the lower level, and she's like, word, all right, let's go. It's a little chilly. And then okay, I had to say I could tell Ebony liked Heather. They liked each other
Yeah,
because they're like real people. And Ebony said, to Heather's credit, she's probably the first person of that entire group that's asked her about herself, right? None of those other ladies are, probably including Leah. So I don't know. I don't know what that says about Heather, about Leah, but I don't know. Then we get to the dinner and the podcast.
Well, fucking Luann at their little like pregame, their little appetizer session was like, somebody has a podcast, right? Like, let's talk about it. And she goes,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not gaslighting. It's definitely like maybe lighting the match. And I was like, you fucking bitch, Luann. Like, it was clearly going to come up either way, but I just love how she's like, I want to be the one to stir the pot.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if like Heather was ready or she would definitely wasn't, but I don't know. They get to the table. Luann has another incredible comment coming up soon. Then they bring up the podcast again, and Leah tries to play it cool, but she's like, "Well, I have read an article about your podcast," and then she reads the word like word for word, blah 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 blah, and then they talk about, I guess it was like who Heather's guest was, and right, and then there's like, oh, Carol. Leah's like, I hate that bitch, and then and then she
so
says,
quickly, like
Rathville.
didn't even take a second to process it.
That was, to me, that fucking sent me. As someone who loves Carol, I don't even know why they left on bad terms. Did they? I don't even remember Carol and Luann ever having a scene together. Right?
I don't know the why she's that pressed.
I hate that bitch.
I was like, go off.
Then they're like, oh, Leah's like, oh, I read something else. Like, it says that there was never one true thing about Luann, blah, blah, blah. And Heather's like, yeah, that's true. And then they're like, okay, well, glad we could clear the air. And Luann's like, okay, I'm fine. Like, she literally like does not care after they talked about it, right?
Yeah.
And that is that. I don't think we've seen the last of Heather and Leah fighting. There's a nude model coming next week.
Which
Um,
let's really quickly the conversation when they started talking about it, and then they're starting to talk about like dicks and coming and eating ass, and Ramona just absolutely loses it. I love when she has these moments where she just like is truly so childish that she can't in the same room as these conversations. Like she has to get up and leave and find a staff member or production person to talk to about it. It's never not funny to me.
that was funny to me, and I also just feel like I don't know, like I really mean this. Maybe this is because I was coming from such a like hateful place at Leah at that point in the episode where I was just like, everything this bitch says is getting on my nerve. But I was also just like, to me, it's like this woman could be like your grandmother. And like, I don't know, maybe I was just like being a prude, but I was just like, I don't want to hear about this stuff right now either. They were literally just talking about this nude male model, and now we have to talk about eating ass. Where the fuck did that even come from? Like, what? Like, maybe that's just me being stupid, but I was just like, I'm over this. I'm sorry. I don't know. I was being a hater.
Hey, I mean, you said you're Team Ramona on this episode, so
I
it checks
am.
out.
And I just feel like Leah likes to instigate sometimes. And it's not really fun always. It's not fun instigating. You know, it's like, okay, we've heard you talk about sex and eating ass again. Okay, cool. Anyways, that was Roni this week. Is there anything else that we left off?
I don't think so. I think that got it all.
Okay. Do you have thoughts on what you'd rate this episode? 'Cause I don't
I,
know. I'm so
I
mixed right now.
See, I personally enjoyed it a lot, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It truly was just giving me like classic Roni. I think the only reason that it's not like perfect in my head is because I'm just like truly over Miss Leah. But
Yeah.
like the smaller elements of like Luann and Ramona and Sonia, it was just so good, and I really have been enjoying Ebony, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
I think I'm gonna be lower. I'm gonna give it a 3. I just
Live your
like
truth.
there was great moments. Like there are like if I see those like 2 minute clips of them fighting on the bus and like Sonya's blow up and like those are things I will watch again. The rest of it to me, and it really is. And I don't know how much I could blame Leah for this, but I'm going to. I don't, and I think like part of this is because yeah, the cast is small. There's a lot of like narration weight on Leah's shoulder, and it's just not working for me. Like it's not working for me. That's just how I feel. Um, I love these women, but Leah. Okay, let's get to Beverly Hills. Okay, they are going to Lake Tahoe. How do we want to talk about this? Let's just go in order. Okay, so let's start with the Garcelle and Kyle meetup.
Yes.
How did you feel about this? About them fighting? About them making up here? Kind of.
Like ultimately, I felt, at least in terms of the way that housewives conversations about race go, I felt pretty good about it because I felt like Kyle has had as good of a response as like a rich white woman who like claims to be super liberal could have, like
Yeah.
like I think Garcelle did a really good job of not calling Kyle out, but more like calling her in and just like
Mhm.
having a little educational moment around it. And so I just thought it was a cute little moment and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really, to me, I mean, it really showed like Kyle's savvy with being on camera. Like when the second Garcelle like brought that up, like, oh, did you only bring this up because I'm a black woman? I think it's kind of, and that's basically what she said. Like I could literally see the gears turning in Kyle's head. And then
Mhm.
she was just like, okay, I'm literally just gonna play dead and just like not be like, oh, thank you for like talking about this. Even when they talked about it later with Sutton and Crystal, like she did not say a word about that either. Like she's like,
Yeah.
you're not pinning this on me. I'm not going to be acting a fool and trying to defend myself. Like I'll just say thank you for teaching me. That was not how I intended it, and like we'll move on. And I think that was like very smart of her. Again, in the world of like Real Housewives and Bravo, that's probably one of the best reactions I think we've seen yet to a white woman being called out, right? Like maybe it's coming off of like Dallas, which was just like a bunch of people on bad behavior, especially at the reunion. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I felt positive towards it. Like I think we're gonna see them get close. Like I actually never really understood why they were fighting in the first place, and to me, it felt like that was just like a weird feud coming from Garcelle trying to like cause shit in the first place, right?
Very, very that.
Like I never really understood. Like, oh, Kyle's not giving you enough attention. Like, why do you really want Kyle's attention? And like Kyle's done this shit for years. Like she has a shit ton of friends on the show already. Like, what is she supposed to like blow smoke up your ass? Like, I never really understood that. But I think they're gonna have a good relationship this season. That's my prediction.
That is my prediction, and that's also just like my fucking dream. Like,
Yes, yes,
and
yes, yes, yes.
and apparently it's Kathy Hilton's nightmare because she wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Oh my god! I have to say, Kathy Hilton is everything I wanted her to be. She is just like zany, rich, old white lady, right? Like just so much, and I love her.
Yes.
Right? When she like didn't know how to plug that fan in.
Gold. Like she
I was
is
dying.
just great.
I was
the
dying.
2 Truths and a Lie with Kathy. Gold.
Guys, let's play a game.
She said it and I was like, oh my god, she's about to like teach me how to play a game.
I was like, why do we have to play 2 Truths and a Lie? But then at the same time, I was like, okay, at least Kathy made this funny. Before we get any further, let us talk about the taglines because we didn't talk about them last week. And they actually aired this week for the first time. So I'm pulling them up right now. Okay. So Kyle's tagline is
what about chess in this town?
Yeah, here we go. Okay, I'm right here. Kyle, this town is a game of chess, but no one's taking this queen down. Okay.
I was like,
it's a little
Garcelle took her down a couple notches. Yeah, very that. And I was gonna say, Garcelle took her down a couple of notches. So I like she's not invincible. So this is just a bold
she never has been. She's always been, to me, when Kyle is at her best, she is Kim's punching bag. And that's what I love about her. Okay, so then Lisa Rinna. My lips are legendary, and they will never gloss over the truth. Okay. I guess that's about Denise, question mark?
Maybe.
I don't know. Dressed like there's no tomorrow, and then tomorrow, do it again. That's Dorit's. Very Dorit.
That's very Dorit, and I'm honestly obsessed with it. I think it's so funny.
She always delivers hers so well. I love her taglines. Garcelle is, if you want a starring role in my life, you better drop the act. Okay. I feel like that we're getting somewhere there. Okay, here is my opinion is one of the worst, and it's Crystal's. Hollywood is full of pretenders, and I slay them all. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I was. What do you mean? I was like, is slay kind of like a reference to something? Because I'm not getting it.
Maybe it'll make sense later in the season. Like I feel like a lot of times these Beverly Hills taglines make sense after the season, but I'm like,
yeah. But I'm just like, I'm bummed because like, her tagline could have been so. She's already in 2 episodes, given so many good moments that I'm like, she could have just had an iconic tagline.
Yes, I feel like some gay is going to get to her next season. They'll give her a better one. Here's Sutton's. Anyone who doubts my exquisite manners can kiss my exquisite derriere. I think I said that right.
Yeah, I think it's cheap, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. And then here's Erica's. The strongest substance on earth isn't diamonds. It's me.
Scream. I think this is probably one of the most unhinged taglines in the world. Like, I'm obsessed with it. In my regular life, have been saying this out loud, and people at work are like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, you don't even know the half of it.
It is truly wild. I'm just like, girl. Is that the best your gay can come up with? But at the same time, iconic. Truly. Okay, let's get back to the episode. It's at an Erica meetup. I really don't know if there was anything that happened in that conversation. No. Let's just go to Story of my life. Crystal's house. I feel like this was the best 3 minutes of the entire episode. First off, I have to say this. Her brother is really hot, right?
He
Like I was
is
like,
trade.
Trey, he is trade of the season. Trade of the season is Crystal's brother. He is a pop star in China. What? Like that is so iconic. I can't even help it.
And then,
Crystal's the
but Crystal just line after line after line. It's just
yes.
giving us great moments. My brother's a pop star in China, but here, he's just my Mandy. Like,
Yeah.
so good.
Oh my god, she was calling me like she was calling about with Lucy, her right hand woman. She calls her Presidente because she's the boss of the house. I was just like, oh my god. It even sounds like they even understand Spanish because like she was speaking to them in Spanish. I was like, oh my god, I love that. Let's see, her husband, he is the. Let's not forget some of his other famous work, Christian. He did Stuart Little. He directed Haunted Mansion. Like
Oscar
these
winning.
these are like Shakespearean levels of children's stories. Like, wow, he really followed up his incredible Lions King.
I know.
Real
I
Housewives.
literally was trying to explain to my boyfriend. I was like, he made Lion King, and then he just kind of flopped after that.
Yeah.
And I. So wait, have you been following the drama, like the Housewives fandom drama of them doing the math on how old Crystal had to have been when she met him?
No.
So
What's the
so
tea?
like she maintains that they like met and when she was like in her like maybe early or mid 20s, but they said that they went on like one of their first dates was him taking her to the Lion King premiere, like the red carpet. Um, and they like people like pulled up when that was and then like cross-referenced it with her birthday and like was like she was 18 when they were together, like started being together.
Well, I guess at least she is of legal age.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's fucking wow. I mean, get your bag, but
Yes, Mama, get your coin. She also could be lying about her age. It's not like we haven't seen that before.
true. That's
She
true.
she
Google
was
Calendar
iconic.
Queen.
Calendar Queen, everyone. Okay, the one thing that I had to pick a bone with, I'm like, how does this not trip you up? There's pink and there's hot pink on that calendar. There's two different shades of pink. Like that's
Yeah.
too similar for me. That would fuck me up. She's a tiger mom. Um, that was just an iconic clip from home. Like everything about that was iconic. I need to see her brother way more. Hey,
Mhm.
I hope he shows up again. And you know what? I really hope that he is a gay. I'll just put it out there. I hope he's a gay, but probably isn't.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
I was trying to like think of something smoother, and I was like, I can't even think of anything. A friend of Dorothy's. Okay. They go to the airport, blah, blah, blah. Kathy comes in. And this is how you know Kathy Hilton is a rich bitch because she comes in, she's not dressed like she's going to a runway. She's dressed like she's going on a fucking plane because she is.
Right.
Garcelle comes, she freaks out the plane. Okay, then they go to Tahoe. This is another great Crystal line. And they're being so shady towards Dorit's wealth this season. I swear. Crystal's like, yeah, Tahoe is like everyone's vacation home in LA. Like I've been here a lot. And it cuts to Dorit being like, I've never been to Lake Tahoe, but it reminds me of the Swiss Alps or something like that. But I was like, this bitch, they're so shady towards her. Okay, what is good? What should we talk? Is there anything here that we want to talk about before we get to the like ending discussion?
I moments where like rich people have to freak out about doing dumb shit like carrying their own suitcases sends me because I like there's moments like outside of moments like that I'm like oh my god like Kyle is just like such a relatable queen like love her Garcelle oh my god so down to earth love her and then she's like I literally don't carry my own luggage and I was like never mind we are not the same we are not the same we will never be the same and so just shit like that I was like
Dorit's like,
this is
where's the ballet? Where's the ballet? Rena comes in, she's like, oh, sorry, I couldn't get in because of COVID, and Rena kills
or
it.
just like dumb
Rena,
shit where like Sutton gives them all flasks and
oh
Kathy's
my
like
god.
what am I gonna put in it? Maybe Listerine.
Do you think Kathy Hilton has ever seen a flask before?
No, not once, not a single time.
She kills me. It's like so unhinged. I love Kathy Hilton. She didn't know how to plug her fan in. Kyle, that also killed me. Kyle just looking at her sister being like, how do you get through this world? Kyle makes some fish. She sets off the alarm. Dorit goes, OMJ when the alarm goes off. Kathy Kathy calls Kyle Doogie.
Which like I hate. Like what a wild name to call somebody. And then the way that she in her confessionals, people are like, what is Doogie? And she's like, she's like a little kid. And the producer's like, what?
I just live for Kathy Hilton. Like, who is this bitch? Where has she been in my entire life? That's how I feel. Okay, then it's like, guys, let's play two truths, one lie. And then I feel like the only thing was that Erica was being a complete annoyance here. I was pissed. Were you pissed at
I
Erica?
was so annoyed. And the fandom was also very pissed. They did the math and they were like, just so you know, this episode was filmed on October 28th. And like the papers were filed on November 3rd. So like she could have been talking about this. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm ready to get to that shit, but come on. You're not gonna say which one is the truth and which one's a lie. Like, did she do this for us to see? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you say something on television and say, oh, I can't say it?
Right.
That's the game we're playing. We're playing a game where you make one thing up and you say what that one thing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kathy didn't get the game. Everything about her was real.
Which is funny because I honestly, when she was like, I used to be a dental assistant, I just thought she was lying. Like, I just thought she was like, she used to play with her like friend's teeth, and that's what she qualified as being a dental assistant.
I think that's what she was saying, because I think she met her husband like when she was like 18. So she's never worked. She can't. How could she have ever worked in her life? Maybe she has.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. Okay. Garcelle and Rinna, they talk again. Snooze. Is there anything? I don't know. My boyfriend's out on Garcelle, and I'm not out on Garcelle, but I'm like, can we just like? I feel like she's just really high and mighty, right? Am I wrong here?
Yeah, no, she's very up on her horse. I will say, I fucking rolled when Garcelle was like, I just need to know that like if I tell you something that it's not going to blow up in my face. And Rinna was like, I can't promise you that. I was like, and Garcelle goes, that's crazy. And I'm like, bitch, have you watched the show? Like, that is just Lisa Rinna. Like, what you see is what you get. So, like, yes, Rinna is probably going to cross you again, and a second time, and a third time. So, like, that's just what it is. And, like, now you have to decide whether you want to be friends or not. Like,
yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like Rinna will, like, she'll, like, blow one thing up about you, like, one time, and then she doesn't, like, return to the well, right? Like, she's not, like, constantly throwing, like, Kyle and Dorit under the bus. Like, once you, like, get in good with Rinna, I feel like she's a really powerful ally, and otherwise she just, like, chucks grenades at your face until you, like, eventually turn around and, like, be friends with her. Like, that's what Dorit did, and, like, they still are friends. So I feel like, I think it would be, I don't know, beneficial to Garcelle to just, who cares about what happened last season? Who cares? I don't care.
I don't care because I don't give a fuck about Denise.
Yeah, I don't either. Apparently, Denise was on. I saw this rumor the other day that the Beverly Hills, they have this like do not hire list of actors that they never can hire, like even no matter what, and because they're just like normal people or they're not like their houses are dirty or whatever. And apparently Denise was on that list for a very long time, and then they like caved and cast her. And I think honestly, she was right to be on that do not cast list. Like she just was not it. It's a very like we need someone, and this is something I'm kind of struggling a little bit with Garcelle. If you're an actor on this show or whatever entertainer, like you need to be, in my opinion, at the tail end of your career where you're desperate. Like you're Rinna, you're a little bit desperate to just like stay on camera. Like you don't think you're too good for this shit. Like you think this is your ticket. And I think with Garcelle, it's like this is just like another thing she does. And I feel like sometimes you feel that. Like I don't know, like with Rinna, it's like she puts in the work. And I want to see that from Garcelle. That's my opinion. Okay, let's go to the final conversation, which honestly, like I kind of struggled to follow. I was like, how did this even get to this point? Maybe if
100%.
you could walk me through it. Like they're talking about, like Kyle is talking about how her conversation with Garcelle went well. She's talking to Crystal, she's talking to Sutton. And I actually loved how Crystal knew how to make margarita queen. She knows how to make a margarita. And then all of a sudden, like I can you walk me through? I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
And then like it just turns into this like weird conversation about race between Sutton and Crystal.
Yeah.
What happened?
So like basically they were trying, like Kyle was trying to explain that like she didn't really think of anything about their fight between her and Garcelle until Garcelle sat her down and had the conversation and brought race into it. And Kyle was like, I really felt like I learned a lot from that. And Sutton then like
which is bullshit.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
such
right.
bullshit.
right. And then Sutton is like, no, I like now that you explain that, I totally see why Garcelle would like feel that way, but I totally know that that wasn't your intention, Kyle. Like that was not your intention at all when you said that. And
which that's not what Kyle was asking for. Kyle wasn't asking for sympathy there, which was also what I didn't understand.
Right. And then so Crystal was like, basically, it seems like Crystal jumped in just to defend Garcelle a little bit, based off of what Sutton was saying, and was like, it's not that like Garcelle couldn't see that. It's just that sometimes, like when you are a person of color, like you get so overwhelmed by whatever narratives have been like been socially understood about your people, and that like you just like see red. And then Sutton is like, no. Like we're not having
doing
this conversation. We're not having this conversation about race. We're not doing it. And then the way that Crystal truly, she went from 0 to like 20 to 100.
I know.
And I was obsessed. She goes, tell me you're not that girl. Tell me that you don't see color, Sutton. Like, are you going to tell me you're not that girl? And I was just like, oh my God. Like, icon.
Daggers.
Legend.
Oh my God. You know that's something that Sutton said in 2005. Well, I don't see color. I can just hear it now. Okay. I am interested to see how this concludes. I'm excited for this budding rivalry that really came out of nowhere. But you know what? We'll take what we can get at this point. I think Crystal is a legend. This may be a hot take, but I'll ask you first. What were your thoughts on Garcelle's blue confessional look?
I like the dress. The wig is cheap.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I'll just leave that there. Okay, let's see. I think that's everything from Beverly Hills. These ladies, they serve me nothing, and I still am gagged. You know, I find there to be humor in this, and I think I'm gonna give it. You know, it didn't have the highs of Roni, but it also didn't have the lows of Roni. So I'm just gonna keep it solid. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 diamonds.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's like there's just some of these women that I could just watch them stare at a wall and it'd be entertaining to me. And I am so up on Crystal.
Yes. Oh my God.
So up on. And even if Sutton turns out to be like problematic, she's still fun to watch. You know, she's not like a Brandy level of problematic. So I'm still very entertained by her.
I think that's always the problem with Dallas. It's like, it's not that we just have one person. It's like we're surrounded by people that agree or concur. And I feel like we're not going to have that same thing here. Like if Sutton's being problematic and racist and saying stupid shit, I think she'll be on an island, and I'm kind of excited for it. And also, it's also wild that like her number one ally is Garcelle. So we will just see how this all continues to unfold. Okay, let's get to New Jersey, which kind of came out of nowhere and ended. But you know what? At the end, I was like, this could not have been 3 parts. And I think there is not a reunion out there that needs to be 3 parts. That's just my take. Let's see. I feel like everything that was like crazy about the first part was like diffused here in the second part, right? Like Melissa did not say a single word the entire episode. Like not one. Yeah. And I was just like, what? Okay, that was weird to me. I'm like, there's not that many people on this stage. It was really the Teresa show tonight. I feel like it was the Teresa show through and through. I guess we could just like how do we even want to cover this? We'll just go in chronological order. We'll go quickly because there wasn't a lot. We were wrapping up Jen drama. Jen was like, they talk about the boss thing again. I don't even know if I have anything left to say about that. Then
I just like not a good look for, like, I get that they're like Margaret is a contentious person and not everybody needs to like or agree with her, but it's just never a good look to like have an argument with her on that specific topic.
no, oh my god! And then Teresa was looking so stupid when she was like, I would never let someone put their hands on my shoulders, on me. I would never let like. And
Right.
then I was just like, girl, come on. Andy like quickly shut that down. He was like, no. He's like, you're being victim blaming. He was like, I'm not letting this continue anymore because he's like, I don't want to see you get fucked over. Which I think she somehow escaped that.
Which is
Let's
shocking.
yeah. Like I am not exaggerating here. Like, I think she is perhaps one of the dumbest housewives I think we've ever seen on our screen, right?
I have to agree.
Like, and that's the fun of it. That's why I like Teresa. But it's also like, what are we, the shit that comes out of her mouth? Like, please let's stay off of like anything topical in the news because I do not want to hear what she has to say. That would only ruin my image of her even more. Then we get a Dolores package. Dolores is saying that she got a new vagina again, and that David's not happy about it, and that she's kind of sticking it to David by like redoing her current house. And then her son said that, oh, I think he is going to propose. That was news to Dolores. The end. Anything here that you want to talk about?
No, I think it's just one of those things where I'm like, if it's so apparent that you don't want this shit on like you don't want to
Yeah.
have the details of this on television, then why are you even entertaining putting any of it on television?
See,
Like,
I don't know. To me, it's like I don't think they're like I just don't think there are details. Like that's
yeah,
like my impression of their relationship. It's like I don't think they see each other, and when they do, they're probably like trying to like have positive conversations if they see each other for like an hour once a week or one night once a week. It's like that's not really a relationship in my mind. And so I don't know. I think we're gonna see a lot more of this continue next season. But I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. If she's happy, I think this is what we've learned. If she's happy, we're happy. But is she happy? Well, we don't know. Okay, let's get to Teresa's love package. Okay, I have to say, Louis to me freaks me out. Do you agree or no?
I was not originally freaked out by him. I think what set me over the edge was when she kind of came out as saying that Louis had gone back and watched every single season of New
That
Jersey.
that was oh my god. I wrote red flag in my notes. I was like, oh no, no man should be like studying a woman like that. That is like the kind of man that Teresa wants is not watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, right? That man is out for something very specific in mind. And that is what kills me. He was studying her. Like that was my impression. He studied her to say all the right things, to be either like the knight and what is it? The knight in shining armor. I don't know if I just bungled that. Did I bungle that?
No, you got it.
Okay. And that freaked me out. Like, I don't know. Did that freak you out?
It was like absolutely psychotic.
Yeah. This is 10 seasons. There's like 200 episodes. He's seen every episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, and you just think that's no big deal. That freaks me out a little bit.
Like, bitch, I haven't seen that much of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I'm like, this is a straight man. Like, he's really coming for your money, girl. Like, that's my impression. I don't know. There is something completely off with him. That was a red flag to me. No. She should be looking for someone who has no idea who she is. That's who she should be looking for. That's my opinion. Okay. And then did you like when Andy was bringing up the like rumor headlines about how he demanded sex 4 times a day from his ex-girlfriends, and she was like, I found my perfect match, and he was like, so the articles didn't scare you? No. And then you haven't gotten to this point yet, but he brings up Kim D, who you will love. Just
Yeah, I
really,
just from the description, I was like, I'm obsessed.
this bitch is literally crazy. She is the original owner of the Posh Fashion Show, which every season used to draw a lot of drama. And then Teresa called Kim D a sewer rat, which
Iconic.
that was iconic. And then I guess that's everything about Louis. Um, the
My
husbands come
favorite,
out. Go ahead.
I just like love when what's it called? Andy tries to call Teresa out for like going ballistic. And she's like, I didn't go ballistic. And he's like, you threw a chair. And she's like, I mean, that's not ballistic to me.
Yeah. See, she's just like so dumb. And that's what I love about this bitch. She's like literally, I think, the least self aware person I have ever seen on TV. And that is saying something. That is really saying something.
Yeah.
The husbands come out. They talk about the drama again with the rumor. Joe B heard it the day after the party at the house. I don't believe that. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's nothing else to really say about. They make up. They apologize. They're going golfing. Evan goes and hugs Teresa, which was sweet. And yeah, I mean, they bring up Daniel Staub again, and they roll their eyes. And yeah, I feel like that's everything, right? Am I missing something?
No, that's they brought out the pineapple juice.
Pineapple drinks. Yeah, and then that was really weird to me, right? Like their hug was like they hadn't seen each other in 30 years, right?
Yeah. It
They
was
were like
just
hugging for
all
so
all
long.
around just bad vibes, bad vibes.
And then she's like, "Did you know about this, Andy?" And he's like, "Yeah." Well, yeah. And
Like
then
period.
and then he gave the worst toast I've ever seen for an ending of a show. Teresa can give a better toast. Come on. He's like, no drama next season. And then everyone's like, okay. And then Teresa's like, to new beginnings. And then he walks off camera. She's like, don't leave, Louis, don't leave, wait for me. As if he just, as if he's just gonna like walk out the front door and
And like get on a plane. Like
that
truly
part.
just like weird behavior.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna give this episode 3 out of 5. I'm giving a lot of 3 out of 5s, but you know what? I'm gonna rate this season 2, and this to me was the best COVID season we've had so far. I said that about Dallas. It was better than Dallas because it was shorter, lighter, funnier, and I think I will give overall the season of Real Housewives of New Jersey a 4 out of 5. Thoughts?
Okay, I was gonna give this episode a 2.5. I just thought I didn't know
Yeah,
that it
I
was
agree
gonna
with that.
be
I agree
it
with
was
that.
gonna be 2 episode reunion, and then it just felt like very quick and weird. I don't think they addressed fully some of the shit that they were talking about. They were just
Yeah,
like
they
really
really did.
vaguely talking about rumors. And I was like, maybe we'll get to it in the third, and then it just ended. And so I just wanted more.
Yeah, it was kind of a letdown to me that Jen, hearing that the rumor was from Marg, was her inferring things that she heard it from Tana Fly. Like it was a lot of inferring. So I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so you didn't hear it from Marg.
yeah.
You are
But
inferring that you heard it. I was like, okay.
all very, very weird. But I will agree with you and say that I really did enjoy this season. I mean, it was my first of New Jersey, but it was a great COVID season. So I would also give it a 4 out of 5 in that regard.
Yeah. Like this cast is just good. Like they just work together. There's a lot of history there. There are friendships, there are allies, there are enemies. And I am like really excited to see where that goes next season. Okay, so let's get to quickly. We can wrap up with our tops and bottoms of the season of the week. I'll let you go first, Christian.
I don't even honestly know who's going to be my bottom. So I'll start with the tops. I think Crystal is a top. Miss Kathy is a top. Oh, I definitely know who my bottom is. My bottom just definitely is Leah. I'm over it. I have always been kind of in the middle of the road on Leah, and this season has not been doing her any favors. And I just thought this week she just came across as like desperate, I don't know, almost for like
Yeah.
storyline or airtime, and I just didn't enjoy it. So Leah is my bottom, but I am really enjoying Queen Crystal, and I love Kathy.
Yeah, I concur. I love my tops are Kathy, Crystal. Luann was killing me. I'm just gonna put Luann there because she had so many fucking lines. Like, which I'm literally still not over when she's like,
Oh,
I hate that bitch. Out of nowhere. Like, Kristian, I don't even remember Luann and Carol ever having a scene together on Roni. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know where that's from. I'm gonna put Heather in my top just because she did the damn thing. You know what? She came, she saw, and she conquered maybe my heart.
Yeah.
Heather's up there. Bottoms, Leah. And I don't know how much this is me putting too much pressure on Leah. Not in the sense like I think Leah was a great presence when she was a spice, but now she's the whole meal. It's like when you do the cinnamon challenge and you like immediately have a terrible reaction to it because it's like not something you're supposed to inject into your body. That's how I feel right now. I'm like, ugh. I'm like sneezing it out really badly and I'm just not enjoying it. But I'm like, but I like that on other things. And I'm not sure if maybe I'll like Leah in a different setting, but this season, this iteration, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put Jay on my bottom too because he really did drag that poor woman on screen for having an STI and giving it to him. For it to turn out he was just chafing. Ugh, come on, Jay. That was it for me. And I'm gonna put Captain Glenn in the top just because. Hey, those are my tops and bottoms. So okay, do you want to give our quick social media?
I can. Josh normally does it, but I'm stepping in. So you can go ahead and just follow me on Twitter and Instagram, honestly, at _KRobs. That is K_KROBZ. You can also follow Sam on Twitter at Sam Henson 24. We'll shout out Josh, even though he's not here. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Mendels8. And then lastly, of course, make sure to like the Couch Potato Queens on Facebook. There it is. I'm just like clicking buttons at this point. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. That's Couch Potato Queens. Queens is spelled QWNZ. And I'll turn it back to Sam to take us away.
You know what? I think the only thing that I am truly looking forward to next week is Women's Empowerment Night. I can't wait for the song, and we will be here to break it down next week. So until then, I'll see you later, Kristian. Bye.
Bye.